And it's because that's the way they're going to get the return on investments that are being made in universities, research that private companies are making, but they don't get enough return in terms of jobs, growth, competitiveness. They need somebody to make that return. And I think it was our hostess tonight, the director of the Erfurt School of Public Policy, who wrote in a book not too many years ago, she wrote, the entrepreneur is the local hero in the global village, which I always like. It sounds poetic. The local hero in the global village. Well, the global village, of course, says that once any kind of activity becomes routinized, standardized, it gets outsourced and offshored. And no country is immune from this. It's a win-win situation in a way. This is what gives the opportunities to developing countries. But it can only be a win-win situation if somebody takes those investments the way that the people did at SAP, gets those investments realized. So let me conclude by suggesting that public policy is going through I think a fundamental shift. Certainly the public policy, there's a great triad in the world of public policy that you're learning or in the process of learning or about to learn. The great triad rests on concepts, conceptual frameworks. What are the ideas? What are the issues? The second one involves measurement. How do you measure these concepts? And the third involves policy instruments. How do you implement instruments to change society in the direction that we want to go? Well, let me suggest that what we've inherited from the previous generations are concepts, measurements, and instruments that are really designed to help places thrive in a world where factories matter, plants matter, manufacturing matters. It painstakingly developed over decade after decade in the post-war era. Lots of our concepts, lots of our measurements are really, I don't want to say they're relics, but they're inherited from a world where what mattered was people working in large organizations, manufacturing cars, steel, things like that. Those are our concepts, and that's what we measure, and that's what we have policy instruments for. So we have concepts like the work week, for example. When you had standardized numbers of hours of people, that worked for factories. Most of you probably don't have a standardized number of hours you work. You work a lot, sometimes you don't. The concept fit factories, a fixed number of hours, but it doesn't fit a world where ideas and acting on those ideas matter. Yet that's what we measure. We measure, for example, number of hours worked. We measure concepts like physical capital. We measure concepts like unemployed, employed. In fact, lots of people who are entrepreneurial are kind of halfway, one or the other. They're switching back and forth. So our concepts, our measurement, and our instruments are really oriented towards I would argue, the old approach that delivered this Wohlstand in the old post-war economy. But I think what you're going to learn here, what you're learning here at the Erfurt School of Public Policy, is really one of the few places, universities, or places in the world that has this focus on how do you formulate policy, how do you think about policy, how do you conceptualize policy in a world not where it's factories and traditional manufactured products that are going to be the driving force, but where it's ideas and acting on those ideas, where it's the Entrepreneurial Society. So let me just close by congratulating you here for being part of a program that's helping to develop public policy for the Entrepreneurial Society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's of course not a coincidence that I invited Professor Audretsch today to talk about the book, The Entrepreneurial Society. You might have read my word of welcome, which we uploaded on the internet, and maybe you came across a paragraph where I actually express what students we expect to come to Erfurt, or who are the students that we would like to have and whom would we like to work with. And usually I don't cite myself, but today I'm going to do that because it matches very well with the keynote speech. At the Erfurt School of Public Policy you will meet an international student community with a strong commitment to the field. Our students have an entrepreneurial mindset and seek innovative ideas to solve complex policy issues. They are strategic thinkers, go-getters and drivers of innovative change. We are proud of having attracted students from all over the world who have successfully shown that they are able to make the world a better place and continuously strive to do so. That might be a reason why I invited Professor Audretsch, because you can see there is a kind of link between us, and once again I'm happy that you are here and that you continuously strive to do so.